Princess Selene, may I ask you something?
You may.
Are you aware of a hill in Firene where a lone broadleaf tree stands?
A lone broadleaf tree. None spring to mind. Why do you ask?
I do not know if you are aware, but I was born in Firene. Throughout my childhood, my family would travel to that hillside. The name of the region eludes me, but I will always remember the beauty of that scenery. I wish to visit that place again, if I can.
My goodness. I had no idea that you hailed from Firene, but you've given me little to go on when it comes to the site in question.
I apologize. I realize now how little information I have to offer for the search. I have wonderful memories of my days there. Sometimes I can almost smell the air.
You carry a profound emotional attachment to this place, don't you? Very well. I cannot abandon the plight of a native Firenese friend so easily. I shall do what I can to help you. As Princess of Firene, I vow to find this place from your memories.
Thank you, Princess Selene.
Does this one stir anything?
No, it is unfamiliar.
How about this one then?
No, I do not recognize that scene either.
Drat! These are all the paintings I have of famous landscapes around Firene, yet none of them appear to be the place you remember so keenly.
I am sorry. You took the time to procure these, but they stir no memories.
Is there anything else about this place, other than the scenery, that you can recall?
I remember now. Meat pies. My mother would make them. My parents and I would picnic beneath the broadleaf tree and take in the scenery. Those pies were wonderful.
What a delightful thing to recall.
I'm sorry. I know none of that story helps to find the location I seek.
Never mind that. It must have been a joyous time for you.
Oh, I think I understand now. For all this time.
Mavier? Is something amiss?
Princess Selene, you have been a tremendous help to me. I have all the information I need. Thank you again.
Mavier, wait! What brought that on, I wonder? Mavier, why did you abandon our search for the place from your childhood?
Princess Selene, I am sorry. I should explain myself, since it was your help that solved my dilemma.
I won't pry if it's a sensitive subject. I was merely curious.
Not at all. You see, I was certain that with your help, I could find the hilltop from my memories. Then I came to a realization. My memories are not special because of the beauty of the place. I remember that hill and its lone broadleaf tree because of the happy times with my family.
I see.
My mother's smile, my father tousling my hair. We would talk, laugh, and enjoy life together. And the meat pies, they were my favorite. I knew only happiness during those picnic days.
Oh, Mavier.
I realize now that I would not be so moved were I to find that hillside today. My parents are long departed from this world. With them gone, that hill is only a hill.
Oh, I propose that we keep searching for that place.
Pardon?
Your family may be gone, but I think we might all enjoy spending time there together with you.
Princess Selene, that is a generous offer, and I accept. Both your help and your company are most welcome.
It would be my pleasure. Let us locate the site, that you may form new and joyous memories there with your friends.
Thank you, Princess Selene.
Good morning, Alfred.
Morning, Selene.
Training hard again, I see. Though normally I don't find you using a shovel. That's a deep hole you've dug too. Won't this be hazardous for the others?
Oh, Selene, this isn't training. And if anything, I need to dig deeper.
What in the world is the purpose of this?
I overheard the kitchen staff this morning complaining that there wasn't enough water. So I'm digging a well for them.
Pardon? Alfred, if the water supply is low, there's a river nearby we can fetch more from. What possessed you to decide that the solution to the problem was to dig a well?
Hey, you're right. That's using your noggin. I'd better find a jug and leg it to the river. Thanks for the tip, Saline.
You haven't changed one bit, it seems. Better that you should dress in pelts and furs to warn people of your barbaric mindset. Do you know what you are, Alfred? A barbarian in princess clothing.
Huh. What a nice thing to say. Thanks, Saline.
How did that strike you as a compliment?
You meant that I've got muscles all over like a barbarian, right? That's real praise, even if you're just saying it because I'm your brother.
That is not at all how I meant it.
Hey, it's okay, Saline. If that wasn't the idea, then what did you mean by it?
Your first impulse on hearing we were low on water was to dig a well.
Oh, right. Some mix-up, huh? Boy, was my face red.
Would that it were the only example. What about the time you heard some soldiers wishing they could cleanse themselves? You immediately leapt to dig them a hot spring.
Oh, do we not like hot springs?
That isn't my point. Why is your first instinct always to go digging?
Because it's good training.
Save your breath. It's instincts like that that mark you as barbaric, which would be fine for most men, but you are a prince. Try to act the part.
All right, Saline, I get your point. From now on, I'm gonna train even harder. No more skip days. Pretty soon, I'll be so beefy that everyone can tell right off what a barbarian I am. No more confusion.
Ugh. Once again, you have completely missed the point. What are you doing there, Alfred? Digging another well? Or is this more training?
Something like that. Trying to keep up my health, you know? Yeah. If I train hard enough, then I won't suffer like I used to.
Alfred? What's wrong?
Don't worry, Saline. It's just an attack. It'll pass soon.
An attack? Is it your old illness?
I was doing so well. That part of my life was supposed to be long gone.
Wait here. I'll fetch someone at once.
No, stop!
What? Why should I?
I don't want anyone to see me like this. Not our allies, the emblems, or the Divine Dragon. I can't let them see this. A weak prince unfit to fight who could collapse any day?
None of them would see you that way. They're far too gracious for that.
But I would still know. And besides, I don't want them to worry about me. As far as they're concerned, I want to be the spirited prince who loves working out. Just let me rest for a while. I'll be fine. Please, Saline.
Very well. But know that if your condition ever worsens, I will seek help.
Thanks. Having a sister like you is true happiness, if you ask me.
That's your idea of true happiness? Don't be absurd.
Well, what about you then? What brings you true happiness?
Nothing.
Really? You've got good friends, you got your health, and none of that does it?
I take joy in those things, to be sure, but I don't value happiness as a life goal. After all, what if I found it? Then my whole life afterward would be spent looking fondly back.
Really? Even if something better comes along?
The possibility that it never will is terrifying. I couldn't bear it. I've always yearned for happiness and saw only misery. Like the day I fled from the castle. If Firene had fallen, or Mother died, or you were lost to us, I wondered, how would I respond? And now this? If things get worse and you have to leave, what will I... How can I...
Hey, I'm not gonna die, okay? I'll be fine if I stick with my training.
You really do have the mind of a barbarian. If only you had the body to match.
I'll get there. That's why I work out. Whoa, Celine, look! You see that four-leaf clover?
Where?
Right by your foot. There you go. A small joy.
A small joy. That takes me back. We often sought such things when we were younger. At that age, I was better at it than you. I wonder when you surpassed me.
Talking to you makes me feel better. Chalk up another small joy for me.
I'm not certain that counts, but I'm relieved to hear that the worst has passed.
Let me make it up to you, Celine. I'll find lots of little joys and bring them to you. I can't promise everything will be fine with me, but we can prop each other up. For Firene.
Yes, Alfred. I will support you in anything. Whatever else happens, we can make sure we return to Firene. Together.
Princess Celine, did you do something with your hair? It's looking even flowier than usual.
Good day, Prince Fogado.
I'll say, any day I see you is a good one. Nothing, huh?
If I reacted to every bit of flattery that spilt from your mouth, we'd be here all day.
Flattery, me, I wouldn't dream of it. Hey, I know, we should have tea together. You like tea, don't you?
Indeed I do.
Being royals of Solm and Firene, I think it's important we get to know each other. Talk about different values and whatnot. Could be beneficial for both of us.
Spoken like the prince of a nation obsessed with trade.
Nothing wrong with a little give and take.
Forgive me, but I must decline for now. The Firenese lifestyle is more pastoral. We lack your taste for intrigue and risk.
You make tea with me sound like some kind of big adventure.
Quite a dangerous one, yes. Good day, Prince Fogado.
And just like that, she's gone. Guess this will take some doing. Then again, what did I expect? She is from Firene. Well, hello, Princess Celine. You're looking gorgeous as ever.
Thank you, Prince Fogado.
So, what do you say? Want to have that cup of tea? It's time we got to know each other.
Is that wise?
Oh, come on. You're still mulling it over? I guess you can't help being closed off. You are Firenese, after all.
As I said, we have a distaste for risk.
Yeah, but it's not just that.
Oh? What else?
Firene's farming industry is so robust, you don't need to keep reserves, let alone import goods. And that's a good thing, don't get me wrong. But self-sufficiency has made you folks a bit unsociable, if you ask me. Your gates are shut so tight, they might as well be walls.
Interesting. When put that way, we do seem a bit isolated, don't we? Very well. I accept your invitation. I'll prove to you that the Firenese people are in no way walled off. Rather, the generosity fostered by our pastoral ways makes us exceptionally accommodating.
Good for you, Princess Celine. Taking it upon yourself to prove Firene isn't a hermit kingdom. I respect that.
It's also a chance for me to gain a glimpse of the secret to your prosperity, such as the way you curry favor with foreign nobility to pry information out of them.
I won't deny it. As a prince, I occasionally have no choice but to mix business and pleasure. But no ulterior motives today, I promise. Just tea and friendly conversation.
That would be lovely. I look forward to it, Prince of Solm. Do you ever get the sense that you and I are quite similar?
I was just thinking that. We look and act completely different, and yet for some reason, we understand each other.
Yes, I know precisely what you mean.
I guess it makes sense if you think about it. We are in similar situations. Each of us is second in line to the throne, the sovereign siblings.
Indeed. Ever since childhood, I have endeavored to grow into a role where I might support the king.
Same here. I've spent my whole life thinking of ways to help my sister. That meant becoming stronger than she was, training harder than she did, leaving the palace to resolve conflicts around the queendom.
I suspected as much. Likewise, I honed my swordsmanship and magical prowess to support my sickly brother. But wouldn't you know it, just when I thought I'd strengthened myself enough, my brother seemed to make a full recovery.
And you didn't know whether to cheer or break down sobbing. We really are alike.
We both dearly love our siblings as we love our nations.
And to protect what we love, we'd be willing to do the unthinkable.
Precisely. Neither of us would hesitate to employ less than peaceful means.
Good. Each of us knows what a monster the other can be.
It's for that reason that I see any path putting us in conflict with Solm as risky indeed.
In that case, let's stay friends.
May we find a path forward. Together.
Well, look what we have here. It is Princess Saline of Firene. I trust you are well today, Princess Saline. Shall we take tea?
Always brimming with energy, aren't you?
Naturally. My spirits are constantly rising. I have plenty of cheer to share.
Unfortunately, I've just come from tea time. But I should be happy to take you up on that offer at a later date.
That is disappointing. Perhaps you will indulge me in a round of mock combat then. Exercise is always good just after tea. Come now, show me your skill. What is amusing to you?
One moment you invite me to tea, and the next you challenge me to arms. There aren't many who would behave that way around a princess. You're a funny one.
Flattery will not get you anywhere.
I shall pass on both the tea and the combat, but the two of us must sit and chat sometime.
Of course. That is what friends do.
Indeed it is.
Princess Saline!
Greetings, Kagetsu.
I have heard some interesting things. I heard that, despite your royal position, you maintain excellent skill in swordsmanship. This makes me all the more intrigued. Will you indulge me now? I am eager to see your skill.
I appreciate the spirit of your offer, but I have no desire to fight without good reason.
Disappointing. Do you feel no desire at all to test your strength?
I keep myself on form to protect my nation, but I've never sought to train for its own sake.
To each their own, I suppose. Shall we take tea, at least?
I would love to. However, I first have some official business to tend to. It's merely a letter I'm composing to send home. Would you mind waiting?
Princesses lead busy lives indeed.
We do. I mustn't shirk my responsibilities.
Do you not find this life to be constraining? I would not be able to withstand it.
A princess's life is not without hardship, but I do take a certain joy in it.
Is that so? I confess, I find it difficult to believe.
Then the next time we meet, I'll show you exactly where that joy can be found.
Is this it?
Yes, this is it.
I do not understand. How does this painting bring you joy? It is of your kingdom, and it is impressively made. But beyond that, I do not see.
As we discussed, a princess's life is not without its hardships, but I take great joy in the sight of my people living in peace.
The ones depicted here do seem peaceful and happy. I agree.
If I can ensure that their lives are tranquil and prosperous, then my own struggles are worth it.
I see now you carry a deep love of your country.
I most certainly do.
I now understand what brings happiness to princesses. For my part, I am much more happy to find opponents who match my skill in battle.
Oh yes, you wanted to spar with me. If you ever tried to harm Firene, you would find me to be a terrible and merciless opponent.
Much as I would like to see you terrible and merciless, I am unwilling to pay that cost.
I am relieved to hear it.
Then, if we cannot spar, let us take tea. You always choose excellent leaves.
That is a much better option, one in which we can remain friends.
To remain friends is always the goal.
Princess Saline, you're up rather late. Is something the matter?
Oh, Prince Alchrist. It's nothing. My sleep was restless tonight, that's all.
Did you have a bad dream?
I dreamt my brother died.
Oh,
This is a recurring dream, mind you. One that I have had many times since childhood. My brother used to be chronically ill, you see. But even now, I can't shake the feeling that he might be taken from me at any moment.
oh, Princess Saline.
Alfred has recovered since then, make no mistake. He is the picture of robust health now.
That he is. He always seems so brave on the battlefield. It's amazing. For what it's worth, I have those same bad dreams myself. Dreams where my brother Diamant is taken from me, that is.
Oh, do you now?
I do. They're a bit grim, so I've never discussed them with anyone.
I see. I should like to hear more about them, if you are willing. But the hour is far too late for that, I think. Another time, Prince Alchrist?
Of course. I'm free to talk whenever you need a sympathetic ear. Another bad dream, Princess Saline?
Is it so obvious? As I recall, you've also had dreams of losing your brother, haven't you? I'm curious, when did they start for you?
Only recently. Shortly after we entered this war against the Fell Dragon, my father told me, if your brother and I both die, it will fall to you to protect our kingdom. I thought that sounded impossible at the time. My mighty father and invincible older brother die in battle? How ridiculous. But wars are often unpredictable.
I know what you mean.
Now I'm haunted by a growing fear that my bad dreams might become reality. What if an enemy catches him off guard? What if we're separated and I never find him again? I've lost count of all the horrible ways my dreams have taken Diamant from me.
My experience has been similar. In my dreams, every disaster I can think of comes to pass.
Now, after every nightmare, I crawl out of bed and check on him as he sleeps, seeing him sprawled out, snoring louder than the sawing of a log. That puts my fears to rest.
I'm glad you have that, at least. My brother is too much of an early riser for me to do the same. I'd be roped into his workouts.
Funny. I'd imagine that seeing him up and running in circles would be a relief.
It does help, I admit. Well, speaking with you has calmed my nerves. I am sorry for worrying you.
Not at all. If you have another bad dream and want to talk about it, I'm always here. I can't make them go away, but at the very least, you know you're not alone.
Thank you, Prince Alchrist. I find that very reassuring. This tea has a lovely fragrance, and a stirring taste as well.
I agree. The tea leaves are from the Brodian Highlands. They're said to be a potent sleep aid.
Truly? Oh, you prepared this just for me, didn't you? I'm touched.
How have your dreams been lately?
No better, I'm afraid. As the war intensifies, so too do my nightmares.
I'm so sorry to hear that. You know, I don't think either of us will ever rule our countries.
I beg your pardon?
That came out wrong. I meant that, should the worst happen, we'd do our duties, but the worst isn't going to happen. We'll fight to protect them. Our brothers. Our future kings. Fear may persist in our dreams, but we won't let it affect our realities. In fact, I'll go a step further and do my best to protect Prince Alfred as well.
Oh,
He's the crown prince of an allied kingdom, so I consider him to be my brother too. Oh wait, he might be annoyed if a weakling like me were to offer protection as a brother.
don't be silly. Alfred would be overjoyed. I know I am. It's enough to bring me to tears. It's very reassuring to know someone so skilled as you will be watching over him.
Oh, I appreciate that you think so highly of me.
I, in turn, will safeguard your brother, the Crown Prince Diamant. Working together to protect the future kings will benefit both our nations. I would go so far as to risk my own life for them if needed.
Princess Saline, that's not...
It isn't the normal order of things, I am aware. And yet, I suspect you would do the same, yes?
You're right, of course, but we should probably keep this agreement a secret.
Yes, indeed.
I believe we just formed an alliance that would worry most of our friends and allies.
Yet I think that because of it, my nightmares will plague me less frequently.
I think that might be true for me as well. We may never bear our own crowns, but we can certainly bear each other's burdens.
Yes. Even after the war ends, may we always act in harmony for the sake of our nations. Oh my! What is that you're drinking, Lapis? It smells heavenly.
Princess Saline, this is regular tea. Yep, nothing special about it.
Do you mind if I have a sip?
What? No, you're a princess. You shouldn't be drinking this sort of thing.
What's the harm in it? You seem to be suffering no ill effects.
It's not that. Well, see, I didn't get the tea leaves from a shop. I harvested them from a wild plant nearby.
Do you mean that you make your own tea? That's wonderful. Now I must insist that you let me try it.
All right, if you insist. Here.
Thank you. Oh, this is bracing indeed. I wasn't quite expecting the taste.
You like it? I actually made the tea set by hand as well.
You made this? Its finery would shame some artisans I know. I'm very impressed that you're able to make so many things all on your own.
I appreciate that, but really, it's nothing special.
Nonsense, Lapis. If it's not too much trouble, could you teach me to brew tea like this? I'd be interested in learning which wild plants to pick and how to brew tea from them.
I'd be happy to. Let's go to the forest together sometime and I'll teach you.
Excellent. I shall pay close attention, my teacher of tea.
Let's see. The shrub over here is edible. Its leaves are delicious when boiled. You can eat them or dry them and make them into tea.
Very interesting.
See these berries? Now you can't eat them, but if you crush them, they make a nice salve.
I've seen these grow everywhere, and somehow never knew they had such uses.
This moss here is great for treating burns. Dry it, crush it into a fine powder, and mix it with water to make a soothing ointment.
Will wonders never cease?
If you're really that interested, there's much more I can teach you. I am from a regular, well-to-do village, but I have friends from impoverished lands. Everything I know about scavenging I picked up from them.
I ought to thank those friends of yours. They and you have taught me so much.
Thank you. I have to say, I'm surprised to see a princess so interested in this sort of thing. Surely there's no need for you to find tea in the wild. You can just go to a shop. Medicine, too. You can just buy whatever salves and ointments you need, right?
Under normal circumstances, yes. In times of peace, what you say is very true. But in this time of hardships, nothing is certain. Your knowledge may prove useful. I suspect you have much more to teach, Lapis, and I am eager to absorb it all.
If that's what you want, Princess Saline. I'd be happy to share what I've learned over the years. From my friends' experiences, that is.
I shall hold you to that. Let's see. This herb should be dried and then restored with water when it's time to ingest. This moss can be dried and powdered, and it is consumed to treat stomachache. I think that's it. And of course, these leaves make a very interesting tea when brewed.
Princess Saline? Are you writing something?
Ah, hello, Lapis. I was just recording the wisdom you shared with me thus far in this journal. I thought you might read it over and let me know if I missed any details.
I'd be glad to, but I have to ask, why are you doing this?
Preparing for the worst, I suppose.
What do you mean? There's no shortage of food or medicine in the stockpile.
Oh, not for us. For my people.
Why would they need to know all this?
Firene is a fertile nation, but I cannot rely on that being true forever. Any number of events could despoil the land. If that happens, I think the knowledge you've imparted could prove useful.
I didn't realize you had such grand plans for the information I was sharing.
I don't intend to wring you dry by any means. I shall interview others as well. You have your own duties that demand your time, so I'll try not to impose too much.
No, it's all right. I'm glad to help however I can. Please, impose to your heart's content. If the skills I use to survive in a barren land can come to good use, well, I'm happy to share them.
Thank you, Lapis. But, I thought that you learned all this from friends.
I'm sorry. I've been lying to you. These are all things I learned firsthand.
Truly? Don't apologize then. First-hand experience is much more valuable to me. Thank you for your honesty. Your cooperation in this matter means a great deal to me, Lapis.
Thank you, Princess Saline. I'm happy to be of service to you and your people.
I must thank you, Jean.
Princess Saline, what are you thanking me for?
The tea produced in your hometown is far and away my favorite. There is joy in each and every sip, so I thought it appropriate to thank you.
Ah, in that case, I should thank you too. My mother will be over the moon to find out you like it so much.
Your mother?
She works at a tea shop back home. You've probably had tea brewed from leaves that my mother processed.
I see. Do pass on my thanks then.
I will. Praise from your highness would be the pride of a lifetime for my mother.
Would you like to join me for tea sometime? We can brew some tea leaves from your home and drink to your mother's health.
Oh, I've done nothing to deserve such an invitation, but I'm grateful anyway. I'll be looking forward to it.
As shall I. You'll be hearing from me. Hello, Jean.
Hello, Princess Saline.
Oh, is that a medical text? I'm not interrupting your studies, I hope.
Don't worry about it. I'm just reading up so I can be a good doctor.
How exemplary. Perhaps another day then.
Oh, you mean for that tea time?
Yes, a batch of tea from your home arrived, so I wondered if today would suit you. But your studies are more important.
I'm very sorry, but thanks for thinking of me.
Tea time is postponed, not canceled, dear. Our anticipation shall make it all the sweeter.
My hometown's tea must really be amazing.
You're just realizing this now? The tea grown in your hometown is nonpareil, I assure you.
Gosh.
Have you never considered a future in tea? Taking up your mother's trade, so to speak.
Not really. I like tea, but it can't save lives.
It can't save lives?
Princess Saline?
I'm sorry, it's nothing. You have studying to do. I shall take my leave and my leaves.
Well, thank you. I was just at a really fascinating part of this text.
Be diligent, but don't push yourself beyond your limits.
Oh, it's just not sinking in.
Hello, Jean. You appear to be hard at work with your studies.
Princess Saline, I've read this chapter over and over, and I'm just not getting it. My brain is too tired.
I know what you need. Here.
Is that smell my hometown tea?
It is indeed. I saw you struggling with your studies and judged that you were in need of a break.
Wow. Thanks, Princess Saline. This smell. It's so relaxing. It reminds me a lot of home.
Now, Jean, you mentioned once that you didn't believe tea could save lives. But I say to you that your hometown tea has saved me too many times to count.
Tea saved you?
When things aren't going well and I'm in low spirits, that's a sign that it's tea time. A hot cup of tea in these situations does much to lift my mood. Things tend to go better afterward, even if it's only because I've cleared my head. When the problems I'm dealing with are severe, is it an exaggeration to say that tea saves me?
No, I suppose it isn't. In fact, my own spirits feel pretty lifted now. Thank you, Princess Saline. I learned something valuable today, and it wasn't from this book. I guess, medically speaking, I can't count out the healing power of tea. Sorry about that.
You have nothing to apologize for. I'm relieved to hear your mood has improved.
When I get home and see my mother, I'm going to tell her that our tea is the best in the world.
If she doubts you, I shall visit in person to inform her that her tea always brings me joy.
Actually, if it's okay with your highness, could we have our tea time now? Drinking tea alone's no fun. And besides, I want to talk to your highness a little more. I'll get right back to studying when we're done, of course.
Nothing would make me happier. To be honest, I was in the mood for some tea as well. I apologize for speaking out of turn. Well then, shall we retire to the tea room? There's so much more about tea to discuss.
Lead the way.
It's been a while since we had time for a cup of tea together, Princess Saline.
There's no need to stand on ceremony, Etier. We've been friends too long for that.
As you wish, Saline. How's your tea?
Most delicious, thank you. This is a lovely pot you've brewed for us. The pungent aroma and flavor tell me it's a single origin tea from the northern fields, yes?
You can tell where it's from with one sip? You really know your leaves.
Go on, Etier, try some. The aroma is really quite unlike anything else.
Thank you. Don't mind if I do.
Well,
it tastes like tea to me. You could tell me it's from any region and I'd believe you.
I thought as much. You always were a bit blind to the subtleties of tea.
It's not that I can't taste it. It's that no one's on your level when it comes to this stuff.
Is something wrong, Etier?
What do you mean?
I noticed your hand trembling. There it is again.
Oh, I don't think so. You must have imagined it.
Really? Well, if you're sure. The tea is perfect today, too. Every moment of rest we get is a blessing.
Yeah, there's so much to deal with that I need little moments like this to keep me sane.
Too true.
Do you remember our first tea times together?
Not especially well. We've been having them for so long, after all. At the time, my brother's health was still very tenuous. Every day was nerve-wracking.
But all that stress toughened you up.
I knew I had to be able to support my brother, in case of the worst. But just as I was getting stronger, my brother's health vastly improved, thanks to his training.
I remember how good it felt to see two strong siblings side by side. After I became retainer to Prince Alfred, he urged me to train as well. And look at me now.
Etier,
Is something wrong?
I definitely saw your hand trembling.
Oh,
Are you not feeling well? Have you fallen ill?
no, it's nothing like that. It's just that my teacup is pretty heavy.
That much I knew already. You've used a weighted teacup to build muscle ever since you became Alfred's retainer. But it never used to trouble you, and now you barely seem able to lift it.
All right. Here's the thing, Saline. I got a new teacup.
Pardon?
Here, try holding it.
What in the world? I've handled cannonballs lighter than this.
I had it specially made. The old one wasn't enough of a workout anymore.
No wonder your hand shakes if you've been using this for a teacup.
Now you know.
Thank goodness. If something were to happen to you, Etier, I don't think I'd ever recover.
Aw, Saline. I'm sorry I worried you.
I'm fine, now that I know it's nothing serious. Tea time again soon, Behold, Etier, I tried adding honey to the single origin tea, and I think I might have created something new.
Really? I'd like to try it. Saline, this is incredible. I've never had anything like it.
Very impressive, Etier.
Impressive? What did I do?
Your hand no longer shakes. You've mastered your new teacup, haven't you?
Not exactly. I just switched to a regular porcelain one.
Whatever for? Don't tell me you intend to abandon your training.
Oh, I'm still going to train. Just not during our tea times.
Forgive me, Etier. This is because I couldn't stop prying, isn't it?
No, that's not why. Training is important to me, but the time I get to spend with you is even more important. It's okay to take a break during our tea time. I don't need to try to do both at once.
Oh, I see.
Every day, the war grinds us down. I don't know how much longer I'll be able to simply relax with you. So, I think it's best I not spend our precious moments together training, too. You okay there?
I'm touched, Etier, that you'd go so far out of your way for me.
Of course. Come on, Saline. Don't you know you're one of my best friends in the world?
I could say the same of you, Etier.
Thank you. That's a real honor.
Oh, you're shaking again.
That's not from training. I'm just feeling a bit emotional is all.
Oh, Etier, come here. You can lean on me whenever you need.
Saline!
Not so tight, Etier. Etier, you train too much. You're crushing me.
Is the tea to your liking, Princess Saline?
Very much so. I particularly enjoy the aroma. I smell a hint of citrus, along with floral notes, yes? More than one variety, if I'm not mistaken. It brings to mind the blossoms often found during the warmer months. Taken all together, the scent is most pleasing.
I endeavor to satisfy. This black tea is a mix of leaves from southern Pyrenees with dried fruit rinds and flowers.
It's heavenly, as the blends you prepare always are. The chance to sip the tea you brew is one of the small joys that gets me through each day.
You're too kind, Princess Saline. Somewhat related, do you remember the special leaves I mentioned recently?
Yes, of course. You said that they would produce a unique and distinctive flavor, if I recall.
You recall correctly. I have a lead on how one might acquire such leaves. I take it that would interest you.
Truly? You're right. I'd love to sample it for myself.
Excellent. The wait will be worth it.
Simply exquisite. The depth, the fullness of this fragrance. I've never had a black tea quite like it.
You enjoyed it then?
Louis, enjoyed is an understatement. I've sipped my share of tea in my life, but rarely have I tasted any of this caliber. I'm extraordinarily grateful to you for the privilege.
It pleases me that you are pleased.
Might I trouble you for another cupful?
Of course. I have an ample enough supply of leaves to brew another pot.
Thank you. Ah, what a joy this tea is.
The bliss on my princess's face makes it worth the trouble.
Is something the matter with your arm?
Nothing of note. Just a minor incident on my outing to fetch the tea leaves.
What happened?
These tea leaves were not farm-grown, alas. They arise naturally in the wild. The path to their native fields is treacherous due to the ferocious beasts who nest there.
One of these beasts attacked you.
Please do not let it trouble you. It is a surface wound and nothing more. I would bear 100 injuries like it for the sake of these precious tea leaves. Now then, that fresh pot is ready for you. Your cup, please.
I've lost my taste for it. Good day, Louis.
Have I offended?
Louis, I must apologize. I left without finishing the tea you went to such lengths to prepare for me. all you endured for the sake of those leaves.
There is no need to apologize, Princess Saline. It was I who soured your pleasant mood.
Louis, there are many joys in my life. I have always held the way you prepare tea for me to be among them.
Thank you.
It's true that the tea brewed with your special leaves brought me more joy than usual. That said, Louis, understand this. It grieves me that you would put yourself in harm's way to bring me that joy.
Princess Saline?
All I need is the pleasure of your company while drinking tea. Any tea will do. I need no extravagant gestures. That small everyday joy is enough for me.
Truly, I am chastened. I see that I have misinterpreted your needs, a blunder most unbecoming. It's a mistake I'll not make again. I swear to you here and now, I will remain at your side that I might safeguard the small joys of your life.
Very good. I shall expect nothing less. Now, if that is settled, might I ask you to put on a pot of tea?
Certainly. I trust you will not mind if I do not bring out the special leaves, yes?
I think that would be best. Even an ordinary tea is elevated by the everyday joy of these small moments.
Oh, hello, Princess Saline. You look radiant as ever.
Thank you, Chloe.
We have some free time today. How do you intend to spend it?
That's a good question. Why don't we take a ride on your Pegasus to a nearby tea farm?
I'd be thrilled.
Mind you, we don't have that much free time. I doubt it would be like it was before. If only I could return to those days of whiling away the hours with you.
Princess Saline?
Oh well, let's do something else.
When this war ends, I'll take you wherever you like, as often as you like. We'll visit all the tea farms in the world. And we can pass the time taking in beautiful landscapes while sipping delicious tea. Now, doesn't that sound lovely?
It does indeed. Wonderful idea, Chloe. I shall hold you to it when the time comes.
And I will be happy to oblige. My goodness, is my face so funny that you'd laugh as soon as you see it?
Forgive me, Chloe, though I wasn't laughing at you. Rather, it was the memory of the first time we met that has me so amused.
Oh yes, how could I forget? My first encounter with the princess. You were at the harbor with your face scrunched up in tears. It was adorable.
I wouldn't say I was in tears. The ship I meant to board couldn't set sail, and I was grasping at straws. That's all.
Which is when I made my entrance. I told you if there was someplace you wanted to go, I could give you a ride on my Pegasus.
And off we went to the tea farm. I'd snuck out of the castle incognito before, but this was something altogether different. I'd never ridden a Pegasus. I can remember my excitement like it was yesterday, the first of many grand adventures.
That day is burned into my memory forever. When they told me you were the princess, I nearly keeled over with shock. I mean, how many people make friends with a girl who turns out to be royalty?
I'm sorry. I hope it wasn't too hard on your nerves.
Oh, it was an honor. Like I was living a real fairy tale. You might say I started a new life that day.
Indeed. You must elaborate.
Oh, I'd be happy to. But not today.
No? I have the time if that's your concern.
Oh, Princess Saline. The best fairy tales leave the audience wanting more. The day we met was a fateful one for me. Ever since, I've kept watch for things that just don't happen in real life.
Whatever do you mean by that?
Until I met you, I led exactly the kind of life you'd expect. I'd fantasize about things that might happen in stories, but I knew it was just a fantasy. But the day I met you was the day I found myself living in a fairy tale instead. And if it could be true for that one day, why couldn't it be true all the time?
You certainly have bravery enough to be a fairy tale heroine, Chloe.
Oh, Princess Saline, you don't have to flatter me.
It was no mere flattery, only the truth. But you were saying that our meeting started a new life for you?
Yes, that day I made up my mind to do whatever it took to become your knight.
Why is that?
Well, it seemed to me that becoming a knight was the only way for me to live my own life, rather than the one dictated by my parents, or by my birth. That day was the turning point, when I began my training.
I remember how startled I was to hear that you would be my retainer.
I bet. Now imagine how my family felt about it. It's no exaggeration to say that meeting you changed my life.
Oh, Chloe, I could say the same for you. You are a precious friend and a thoroughly dependable retainer. It has been a joy to have you near. Thank you for your service, Chloe. I look forward to seeing the rest of the fairy tale that we weave together.
Me too, Celine.
Greetings, Princess Hortensia.
Princess Celine! Yeah. Yep, you're gonna be tough, but I won't lose.
Pardon, but what are you talking about?
Oh, you're good. We might even be evenly matched, but you won't catch me admitting that in competition. I mean, you won't catch me surrendering the field of battle.
We are battling, then?
Yes, and I will ignore whatever I need to proclaim, Princess Celine, you are no match for me. I will defeat you in cuteness. And while I'm at it, everything else.
So that's what you were raving about. How rambunctious you are.
Rambunctious? Be all calm and superior while you can. I'm gonna fantabulize you into the ground. Might as well get it over with and surrender!
Is she leaving so soon? I had hoped to invite her to tea. What a darling girl, though. I wish I had a younger sister as adorable. We meet again, Princess Hortensia.
We do indeed meet, Princess Celine. Let the competition commence! The first event will be the softness contest. Who will be softer, you or me? Let's try you first. Poke!
That tickles!
The softness contest is hereby canceled.
So soon?
Strategic adjustments need to be made.
That's unfortunate. I wanted to have a turn to poke at you.
Wait, really? Hey, no! Your mind games won't distract me. We're competitors.
Of course we are.
What is wrong with me? This girl's so adorable, she's messing with my mind. Insidious.
My turn. Let's see how soft you are. Poke.
I told you, that contest is canceled.
Forgive me. I was overcome with curiosity and couldn't help myself.
Why is she smiling like that? Why do I like it? Enough of your tricks! I'm the cutest there is! I'll never be outdone! Ha!
There she goes again. Drat. It seems I once more missed my chance to invite her to tea. You don't seem your usual rambunctious self today, Princess Hortensia.
Okay, Princess Celine. Fine. I admit it.
Admit what?
You're cuter than me. I admit defeat. I was doomed from the start, really. Who can even take their eyes off you?
That is high praise indeed. And yet... I'm not through poking you. Poke, poke, poke!
Why?
Shall we call the contest an amicable draw? You do not lack for cuteness, and you wear your mood plainly on your face. Little do you realize what a comfort those two things are to those around you.
You really think so?
I do. And never mind my charms, you have unique charms all your own. I dare say a smile suits you better than a pout.
When you say things like that, it only makes me like you more.
Good. I was already quite fond of you.
Oh, how can you just stand there being all calm and perfect?
Come, Princess Hortensia. Won't you join me for a cup of tea? I've wanted to extend the invitation for some time now.
Tea? With you?
Indeed. I think that we two younger sisters will have a great deal in common. As a sign of our friendship, I've imported a special blend from Elusia.
That's so sweet of you. Yeah, let's go right now.
Excellent. Let this tea party, the first of many, commence.
I really enjoyed our tea party today. Thanks for inviting me, Saline.
The pleasure is all mine, Divine One. Our conversation made for an excellent spice over an already fine tea.
The tea was fine, wasn't it? That floral note it had was almost unbelievably good.
I'm glad you appreciated it. The leaves were grown in Firene, you know. The delicate, subtle taste embodies the spirit of our kingdom. It is my utmost favorite.
Yeah, I've heard the Firenese prefer the pastoral life over any kind of open conflict. That really came through in this tea.
There's a Firenese folktale I think you might find interesting. Our royal palace is home to a spirit who ensures happiness for the virtuous. For thieves or interlopers, however, the spirit drives them off with mischievous tricks. Imagine, driven off by the prankish antics of a spirit. No serious consequences at all. How effective a deterrent do you suppose such a spirit really is?
Even so, it's a lovely story. It's the kind of good-hearted tale that reflects the Firenese character, I think.
Yes. Yes, it is. Well then, we must have tea together again sometime, Divine One.
You're looking a bit grim, Saline. Problems?
Ah, Divine One. Do you remember the tea we enjoyed together the other day?
It was so good that I'm not likely to forget it anytime soon.
It would appear that shipments of those leaves are becoming a favorite target for highwaymen. Changing the trade routes has made little difference. Each day brings more victims.
That's awful.
I am not often called on to intervene directly in matters such as these, but this is an emergency, and no one in Firene knows more of tea than I, so Mother has requested that I handle the problem, personally.
How do you feel about that?
I suspect it may be part of my education. Even if my brother is first in line for the throne, I am still Princess of Firene.
So, what's your plan for dealing with them?
I thought I might drive them off with pranks. Wouldn't it be lovely if things were as simple as they are in folk tales? But real life isn't so pastoral.
No, it's not.
I will show no mercy to anyone who causes suffering to the people of Firene, and I will go to any lengths so that my people may enjoy the peace they are accustomed to. Don't look at me like that, Divine One. This is a duty I must bear. Now then, please excuse me. Action must be taken in this matter, swiftly. If I worried you the other day, Divine One, I sincerely apologize.
What happened to the highwaymen attacking those tea shipments?
We supplied funds to heighten the caravan's security. Then they let the thieves escape, which led our new security forces directly to their stronghold. I just came from giving the order to eliminate their base.
I see.
They are bandits, but they are still Firenese, and I have now signed their death warrant. I would do it again, without hesitation. No one, not one soul, can be suffered to violate Firene's peace.
But it must have been a painful choice.
It wasn't. Anguish is one of the few privileges not afforded to those in my position.
I know you have to harden your heart, but you have a heart all the same.
Your empathy is appreciated. There is nothing I would not do to protect my kingdom. I would draw my blade for peace without hesitation. I have steeled myself for it all my life. Even so, I find no satisfaction in what must be done. I worry that is a mark of weakness in me.
That's not weakness. It's kindness. It's the same kindness that's reflected in the Firenese character.
You are most generous, Divine One. Divine One, might I have a word?
Of course, Celine.
It concerns a matter we spoke of previously. I told you that I would not hesitate to draw my blade for the sake of my nation, that to bring peace to my people, I would wage war.
Yes, I remember.
Yet now I find my resolve wavering. I wonder whether I could truly be so merciless in the pursuit of peace.
That's understandable for someone so kind as you, Celine.
It is not kindness. It is a sort of cowardice. The unique cowardice that comes of what others may think. I fear that you would hate me.
Oh.
Therefore, I ask that you hold me in contempt. Scorn me for putting my personal feelings ahead of my royal duties. If I already bore your disappointment, I could again be merciless for the sake of my people.
I think you should have this, Celine.
Is this the pact ring?
You could never disappoint me. I'll always be there to support you, whatever you decide, whether it's for the kingdom of Firene or for yourself. Whatever your motivations, I will stand by you.
Then, you see nothing to loathe in my steel heart?
No. I know there's more to your heart than that. Whatever decisions you feel you have to make, we can work through the consequences together. You don't have to be alone.
Thank you, Divine One. With you at my side, what reason would I have for cowardice? I should find only joy instead. Divine One, your unwavering support has lifted a great weight from me. You are a true friend.